Good morning, everyone. How's everybody this morning? Hey, Hank, how you doing? I'm good. I'm good. Okay. How you doing? All right. Hey, JB. There you go, Alexander. Now you're thinking it through. Okay. All right. So we had news. Nobody really cared. Okay. Why is that? Okay. What we do in this room, folks, is we teach you structure. And welcome to the folks who are joining us on YouTube. I'm JJ. This is the Trading Syndicate. And this is where we teach you how to trade using practical information. So here's the thing. We had news come out, we had no reaction, right? What about this profile? What about this market today tells you that something's a little different? Okay? Right? We had a massive liquidation. And we rebounded and filled the gap the very next day. Okay? Now this is the second time where the market has sold off, gapped lower, and filled that gap the very next day. We have multiple gaps underneath us that have not filled, gaps to the upside. So what does it tell you when gaps to the downside get filled in a day and you have four gaps months and months ago that haven't filled to the upside? Well, the simple fact of the matter is there's a ton of people short in this market. There's evidence of that from the price spike of 2 days ago, the low of yesterday, and look at the low of today. Right? You got poor low. Right? You got a poor low, so you've got buyers competing. You have the short position moving higher. So when we had a news issuance come out, these electronic trading programs that wholesalers use, they sense the order flow. And if they don't see any large, big sell orders coming in, they're not going to take advantage of it and hit the market down. Right? Now, there's nothing wrong with selling short. It's just when you have multiple short positions stacked on top of each other, whenever you get any kind of a small liquidation, like we did here, we got that liquidation down, and then there's the news. There's nothing going on here, right? And it's choppy and it's slow. The reason why it's choppy and it's so slow is we've got a ton of people trapped short under 64.28. And they added it to it yesterday. Now they're really trapped under 64.54. You guys kind of see what I'm talking about? So why is there no follow through on either side? Is because the short sellers are trapped. The longs don't want to add size here, right? Because anyone who's got a little bit of market savvy is going to not want to build a large position on top of a short position. That's like building a house on stilts, right? So you get speculators, and speculators didn't just fall off the turnip truck. So if they don't see a lot of selling, there's nothing for them to do. Now, that's great, JJ. What does that all mean? How do I take that and I make it practical? Well, To make it practical, what you do is you understand that there's no follow through. When there's no follow through, it means your trades are not going to be as, let's say, fruitful as you think they're going to be. You're going to have to settle on making less, right? Until the market changes, right? So saying things like it's going to drop 100 points, that doesn't help anybody. What do you got to do? How do you actually manage your business in an intelligent way? Or say it's going to rally 100 points or drop 100 points, right? You don't know that, right? So instead of talking out of your butt, focus on your trade setup, right? I understand people don't know what's going on, so they're kind of grasping at straws, right? Yeah, we're gonna have more news tomorrow and more news at 10, right? But for the time being, shorts are trapped under 58, under 54, and then if we go and split this profile from yesterday, well, look at what happened again. Look at that M low. That is where people were shorting this market under 38 yesterday, and M period did not do any kind of takeout of that low. It just boom, straight up and high closed. Right? So we are in distribution. We're taking all of this product and stuff that we've got here, and we're selling it up here. Overnight inventory is long because I'd say probably 80% of the volume is above yesterday's close. We are looking for lower, and we'll look on the open for a break of that poor low. When that poor low, if and when that breaks, we don't know exactly where the target is, so that's why we'll use the distribution charts, which is the 1 minute, that shows you cost basis and the discount levels, right? So far, we haven't even gotten down to 4 times discount from cost basis in the overnight, right? Hey, Lear, how you doing? Right? So for those of you trying to learn how to trade, what you really want to focus on, instead of focusing on what people are talking about in the room, what you really want to focus on is your trade setup. Now, when you first start trading, you don't know what a trade setup is, right? And that's okay. You have 2 trade setups. One that you should learn is the look below and fail. It's a simple setup. It's based on the oldest business transactions. When supply runs out, price goes up, right? You map out your zones, and you take that setup from the edges of the zone back into the middle, right? After you learn how to go long, it will teach you how to become a better short seller because you'll understand how to recognize competition from other sellers. So if we go and look at this 1 minute candle chart, let's go and set VWAP. VWAP's up here at 66. You can see there are clearly sellers just above it. Inventory is long. So inventory is long. What are we looking for? We're looking for shorts. Okay? So when we open, where are your areas of interest? 6460, right? Which is just underneath yesterday's close. Look where we went in this period. That X period went down to what? 61? Stopped and turned like it's doing right now, right? We're going to be opening at the top of yesterday's range If we get above 64 quarter, we're going to open on a gap. Hopefully we don't. So remember, folks, don't concentrate on traders that are saying they made 30 points or 60 points, right? You want to focus on your trade setup. And those of you who are posting their trades, we'd really like you to post them in the, in that area. Does Steve still have that room to post the trades? Trade review, right? And folks, another thing about posting trades, we're happy when you make money, but we'd also like you to tell us when you scratch or when you have a losing trade. Just so people don't get the impression that, you know, this room, we want people to get the impression that we know what we're doing in this room. So it's okay to make mistakes. I do it all the time. I get scratched out all the time. I get stopped out. You know, that's okay, right? We learn from those situations. Generally, Doc, the people who are buying highs are the people who are getting bought in or getting forced buy-ins because they're short. Or people who are chasing price. So if we open under yesterday's high, you're going to look for 64.58 to be taken out on the low on the downside. That's your first sort of stop, right? Past the close. If the market can't get down to 64.58, it will turn and rotate and try and get above yesterday's high. Yeah, if you watch the replay video, Pollux, I took it from, where was it? This is what I took the balance right here. And truth be told, had I come in a little earlier, later, there's lots of balance zones. There's a lot of chop. Like there's a nice balance here, you see? Right? There's one here, right? The thing is, it doesn't really matter where you take your balance from because the inventory, as you know, as a market maker, never changes, right? Right? You're a crypto market maker, so you've got a Bitcoin inventory and Ethereum inventory. You've got inventories where you put different products, right? Like a storeroom. So my levels are a little small, right? They're only 2 points today. Not the best, right? But I never redid them. Yeah, I don't know what's going on downstairs, Flavius. They're playing drums, and people are racing canoes and all kinds of crap. I have no idea what's going on. We could get down to 47, Aaron. Definitely. We got to get past the goalie at 54.5. How could someone coming in this morning choose that level to pick if they didn't trade overnight? Ah, so glad you asked. Pollux, if you go into the JJ levels room, there is a document. That document is a 5-step document on how I do this every single day. I do the same thing, right? And it's been there for what, 2 years now? Unless somebody erased it. Here it is. It's the first post, July 24th, 2024. It was posted earlier. It got deleted, so we jammed it in there. Yeah, there it is. So I'm biased, right? I'm looking for a correction down. The only problem, what's the monkey wrench in the works to lower price right now, is that there are so many bids from short sellers that if they don't see a size seller, they're not going to back off the bid. If they don't back off the bid, price is not going to move down at a significantly accelerated pace. It will be choppy as hell, right? You don't reset crypto. I don't reset levels either, Pollux. I'll leave it at 2 points. I've got a bunch of one-on-ones today and a bunch of stuff, so I'm not going to be trading that much. In fact, I just opened up my trading account that has my client accounts. So I haven't even traded yet because I've been on the phone pretty much since I've been up. Look at these 1 minute candles. Look how tight they are, right? This is just telling you right now that business is slow. So don't get all hyperactive at the open. Okay? You see stuff like that, accumulation, distribution, back into accumulation, tight ranges, no follow through. Don't get all cut up. Sit back, watch, and wait for the edge of your level, right? So you wait for your setup, which means you wait for when the terms and conditions under which you do business are met. Then you execute, right? Otherwise, you're just executing for the hell of it, right? And that makes no sense, right? Mark where the sellers are, right? You could clearly see there's sellers right here. Boom, 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 boom. There's sellers. 63 3/4. So say for example you had gone long at 2.5. Well, you know that there's sellers here. So what are you going to do? You're going to put your sell orders around that area so you can at least lighten up your inventory. And then if you're going to hold a runner, put a sell order at 64.25, 64.5, and see if it gets taken. Because if there's a wall of offers there and they're filling every bid that comes in, it's not going to go higher until we get more buyers. Watch. Let's see. So expect choppy, expect slow, right? And if it's different, then great, right? But do you see how that the seller's at 63 3/4? Right now, they're grabbing those buyers because nobody's willing to pay higher. Keep it simple. Overnight point of control has now moved down from 67.5 down to 63. $64 at a quarter is yesterday's high. That's why they're selling at 63 and three quarters, because they're front running yesterday's high. Because they know if we take out yesterday's high, there'll be some stops there. That'll create buying. So let's sell before, because let's anticipate where the selling is, where other people are going to sell, and sell before they can. Right? You always want to be taking advantage of the information the market gives you, not trying to impose your will on the market. Hey, Sonny, how you doing? I don't know what's going on downstairs, buddy. They are loud as hell. Yeah, imposing your will on the market is. I mean, this is what was it, 1990 something, and George Soros with the Bank of England, right? It was, we're retail traders, right? So we poked our head over 60. There we go. Now we're starting to see some buyers, and the offers are starting to lift. Let's see if we could get a 64 and three quarters, 64 half print. Offered at half. No, and offered at a quarter. Now let's see. No takers at half. Right? No, I don't have a wife, $6 million man. I live by the water. They have some sort of a race. A bunch of people in these log canoe-like contraptions. It's annoying as hell. And they've been playing this theme song from Hawaii Five-0 over and over and over again. Which I suppose because usually it's Beatles music over and over again, because the statue's right downstairs. So, advice to newer traders: if you can't figure out what's going on, don't worry. Okay? Just sit back and watch. Right? Sit back and watch and make notes. Right? If you are shorting, looking for an inventory correction, right? Because inventory is long. Yesterday's high is your warning level. Okay? So say you're shorting here near the puck, right? Yesterday's high is your warning level, and your out is 66. Okay? So if I shorted 63 and put some orders between 63 and 64, if it starts taking out 64 quarter, right? 64 half, right? If I put on some size here, I would start taking back some of those contracts, right? I would be managing my risk with size, right? So like right here, uh-oh. See how it's starting to offer over yesterday's high? So if it accepts over 64 half, right? VWAP's here too. If it just barrels right through VWAP, right? There's no reason for you to take the short all the way here and then get stopped out, right? cut your risk, right? You got to cut your risk quickly. Admit you're wrong quickly. It's not going to hurt. See, the seller stepped in right under that level. Watch the offer. Watch the red line. This market also has a way, even when inventory is long, it doesn't correct inventory right away. It finds the bid, moves up away from it, and then what it does is it goes and tries to distribute as high as it can, and then it'll mark down price. Yeah, things have really changed since those days, eh, Nano? Man, the business is still the same, but boy, the execution, it's like night and day. I want to see an aggressive seller at 64. I'm not seeing it just yet. To gap or not to gap? That is the question. Nobody got that reference? Okay. There you go, Moran. Okay, sellers at 64 and 3/4, right? It's the only thing that's keeping the shorts from pulling out their hair. Just seeing if you guys are awake. I've been awake since 4 in the morning. It's 2 in the afternoon here. So, looks like we'll open on a little gap here, maybe? If we lose that seller, just be careful, okay? You can just close your eyes and imagine how many people are short this market. Hey, Windmill Willie, what's going on? Every time I see your name, I always think of Boxcar Willie, right? Another musical icon there, Nano Dorcas. See? So if I was short at 3 or 4, I would have scratched that short going into the open, right? Now let's see if we can open this sucker, right? Open out a gap, taking out that 68 offer. Let's see if we can hold that A low. Look for bids at yesterday's high. They're going to come and test that gap. Boom, 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 boom. One more tick. Come on. Come on. Gap is filled, right? Watch the open. If we get back over the open, be careful on the short side. If we can stay under 66, the sellers will start to pile in. Yeah, there's that creep I was worried about. Come on. Be a normal market. Sell like a normal market. Come on, come on. Watch out now. There we go. Come on. So if you're short above yesterday's high and you didn't cover, that is a lack of discipline. Because I just did that. I was short 65 and I was too slow getting my bids in at 63. So I actually scratched that trade because JJ was not as disciplined as he should have been. Yep, Aaron, they sold. See, you know who Boxcar Willie is, right? Classical. That's classical music in the prairies. I tell you. I'll tell you. All right, sellers are kind of coming in now, finally. Right? If we're shorting underneath the open. We're looking for yesterday's high. Here comes Secretariat around the last turn. Nope. Stalls. Conway Twitty, indeed. Another classic. Right? Okay, this time I shorted 65 at a half and I covered 64 at a quarter. Because I learned my lesson the first time. And these are the first trades I'm taking all morning because I've been on the phones. So I am trading the micro so I don't lose a lot of money. If I am wrong. This is choppy. What a mess. Every time this market liquidates, I go, oh, that's great. You know, we'll stay down here for a couple of days, get some better price action. If we get past 69, look for 72. Very low volume. Nobody wants to play, right? It's all the speculative traders that are in there. So that seller at 68's getting taken out. Not much for sale. And this is what I said before. Overnight inventory is long. Did we get any kind of meaningful correction other than the gap fill? No. Right? In fact, the gap fill made the market stronger. It brought in more buyers. It's that slow, creepy price action. Not much volume. Everybody thinks it's weak. They're shorting the hell out of it. Right? And then next thing you know, it's 6 points higher. There's stops at 72 and 72 at a half quarter. Taking those stops. Jeez. Look above the overnight high. Not much of a fail. Holy cow. Right? So, how many people shorted the holy living heck out of this thing off of the open in the last 2-3 hours? Quite a few. All right. Now we're getting some liquidation. Let's see if we can take out 72. The breath is horrible, right? Christmas tree breath. One positive, one negative, right? It's brutal. Right? Short 73, covering 71. Fast, fast, fast. Two left. One left. I'm flat. Oh, that was ugly. Nice work, Flavius. Nice work. Look below and fail of 64.70. Look for the overnight high as your target. If it takes out 70, scratch. Yeah, too early on that one. Should wait for the next candle. We found bids just at 70. Seller at 70. Selling alongside, covering 68 and 3/4. Got a bid at 68.5, did not get taken. I scratched it. I'm just scalping to get my bearings. It's not the best price action, is it? Well, got to take what you can get, right? There, we're finally getting some liquidation, right? What time do we have news? 10? If you're shorting 70 as you're out, your sellers are at 70. Let's see what happens in the next 30 seconds. Right? This thing is such a pain to short. You got to have really good timing. If you lose that seller at 70, be careful. Okay, if you're short, let's see what happens when this candle opens. Jeez. Lost the 70 seller. There you go, Aaron. Nice. Over 70, you go long to 72, 73. Sell into strength. It's choppy as hell. If you're not a fast trader, put your sell orders in as soon as you're long. Right. I'm out at 72 and a half. I got a couple of contracts left. Long at 70. I'm flat. Right? Accepting over 70 targets the overnight high again, okay? Very choppy here. I'm going to sit back and watch for a little bit. If you're short, once again, 70 is your lookout offer. Man, there's a lot of bids under 68. Whew. Boy, might have to tickle a few there. Seller at 70 still. See if we can clear them out. Remember, if you are long, sell into strength. If you are short, buy into weakness. Do not wait for an invitation to close your trades. $68 product being sold at 70. I'll take 2 points all day, every day on 5 contracts. I'm very happy to do that. $54 to 56. Be really nice to take out that overnight low, but that's not in the cards just yet. Yes, keeping the risk tight makes it trickier in retail, especially in RTH, Pollux. And you got to remember that I'm trained to, as soon as I acquire product, my sell order is out. It's much easier trading with tight stops in Globex. That's why I actually prefer to make my money in Globex. If I can. If the order flow permits. Yeah, see, you're, because you're a market maker, you're always first to the bid, first to the offer, right? That gets us into trouble in retail trading. We take the trade, get stopped out, then it works in our favor. That's why I've been working on this look below and fail for a while now, right? Years. It's the only way. I'll don't get me wrong. I'll still take trades too early, right? I'll still take trades way too early and get stopped out. There you go, Aaron. It's two different mindsets because in work, if you're a professional trader and you're slow, you're unemployed, right? A slow trader in finance is about as useful as a poopy flavored lollipop. They're useless, right? What's the point of having a slow trader, right? So we're trained to be fast, And in retail trading, being first isn't always the best. Aggressive seller at 73.74. Man, I am not liking this chop. It's two completely different mindsets. Retail, you got to be nice and relaxed, calm, take it easy, spend 99% of your time watching, right? It's okay, Omen. It's a tough, and I talked about this in the Globex session, and that's why I encourage you guys to watch the Globex session. You know, it's recorded, so you don't have to be up at 3 in the morning, right? And the reason why I encourage you to watch the Globex session, it sets you up for the day. I'll go through the profile and I'll go, okay, these are areas that we have to look for. And these are the reasons why we have to look for issues at those areas. Right? There's definitely a business reason why. Alrighty. If you're long 71, make sure your offers are out. Do not wait for an invitation to sell into the strength. Right? You have to be able to trade the market you're given. Don't worry, you will be able to hold trades longer. Just not right now. Yeah, you just have to work on your execution, Pollux. Guess what? Welcome to the club. We're always working on our execution, brother. Because just you'll have 2 or 3 days where you trade like a god. You can't do anything wrong. Fourth day comes along, a little bit of an agenda change in the market. You can't trade your way out of a wet paper bag. And you're missing and slipping and, it's brutal. That's why I'm a big believer in keeping look below and fail of 66, targeting 68 3/4, long 67, selling 68 half, out 1, out 2, flat. And that's why you just got to keep executing, man. It's the grind. It's the grind, you know? Yesterday we had a nice like 10, 12 point rotation. Let's see if we can get back up to that 70 level. Right? Sell into strength. Right? If you're long 67, 68, I'm losing them at 70. Why not? Take it and go, right? Sell into that rotation. Now let's see if we rotate back down. No, not just yet. Well, I was long 67, selling into the 69s and 70s, right? So I'm out now. I know there's sellers at 72, 73. So maybe I look for when we get back underneath. Yeah, I got decent trade location on that last trade. The first couple of trades of this morning, Pollux, my trade location has been kind of crappy to be quite honest. Because I was a little rusty because I hadn't traded all morning. So it took about 3 or 4 trades for me to kind of get into a groove. I don't like buying breakouts. Because you know as well as I do as a market maker, right? You and I sell inventory into a breakout, right? A breakout is a liquidity creation event, right? It allows you to dispose of your product at higher prices in size, right? So I like selling into breakouts. I don't like to buy a breakout. So right now I'm out. I got my 67, 60, 68 to 70, 4 to 5 contracts, in, out, 2 points, goodbye. Now let's see what this crazy thing does, right? Pollux also, like I said, the structure of this market, take a look at a TPO chart. It looks like a giraffe walking up a ladder backwards, right? The structure of this market is crap for the last 2 or 3 sessions, right? So the order flow is going to be unpredictable, right? You have unpredictable order flow. It makes it much harder for us to trade. It makes it choppier because what happens? The large traders sit out, right? They're just coming back from the Hamptons, right? That leaves room for the speculative guys and girls, right? And when the speculators get a hold of this market, they're like cowboys. No problem, Jerry. Give me a call tomorrow. We'll do a check-in. Well done. Good discipline this week, man. You're coming back from vacation very nicely. Oh. Oh, the structure of this market. This market looks like some third world penny stock if you look at the market profile. Gaps up, gaps down, short positions, P pro. It's just it's a, as they say in Saskatchewan, it's a dog's breakfast. It's a real dog's breakfast, the structure. So any kind of large trader is going to sit there and go, you want me to buy what, 20,000 contracts? Here. This thing looks like a house built on stilts, built on a house of cards. Right? Balancing on the nose of a seal. I'm not going to put on size here. And it's jammed short, so I don't want to short it. Right? So they kind of back off. When they back off, then come in all the cowboys, right? All the cowboys and cowgirls come in, right? And these are sophisticated traders. They have capital, they have technology, right? And they have skill. Hey, Frass, what's going on? How you doing? They're a far cry from Conway Twitty, but we got to give that man his due. Two withdrawals, nice work. Nice work, Frass. Way to go. Hey, what's up, Miami? How's Lotus Land? Still sunny in Vancouver? Oh, good. Oh, this chop. Come on. No problem. Anytime, whenever you're ready. I know you got a busy schedule, kids, wife, kids, school, practice, this, that. We'll get you there. Don't worry. It's a marathon, brother, and you're young. You got decades of trading ahead of you. You'll get there. Bids at 68. It's a marathon, my man. It's a marathon. You know, it's like the song, slow ride, take it easy. You'll get there. Just put in the work. Build it, they will come. Good. Just take it easy on yourself. You got enough pressure and stress in life, right? You don't want to be like me and have a heart attack at 44. uh, I don't trust the high. You know, I am so short biased, but I don't like this slow creep up because every time we sell off, well, right now I should be more practical, shouldn't I? Right? We've got, what in the hell are they doing downstairs? Right? We've got that rotation. News in 2 minutes. Okay. News in 2 minutes, folks. Be fast or be flat. No tears. It's okay now, Howard. You escaped. Now cool your jets. Take a breather. Okay? Don't jump back in the pool yet. You're welcome, brother. You're welcome. Reach out anytime you need me. You know, and for you folks out there who are having trouble, DM me anytime at thetradingsyndicate.org. You know, we're always having deals on the room and stuff like that, but moreover than that, if you're having trouble, this market's going to be very tough to trade going into the December, okay? I'm telling you right now, right? When the going gets weird, the weird turn pro. Hunter S. Thompson said that, not me. Learn how to trade like a pro. Because this market is going to get weird, right? We've already seen evidence of it, right? We had a 500-point day in the S&P. We had a 50-point gap that filled the next day. This is not normal market action. Retail trading is going to be harder. So do yourself a favor and use this time to get some skill. All right, now that it's getting all hyperactive here. I am so short biased. But this thing is just bid 68. Unfilled bids at 68. Let's see what happens when the next candle opens here. See, look at that. See, look, bid, 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 bid. Right? It's okay if you're on both sides. So seller at 71, that's for sure. 71 and a quarter. I mean 70 and three quarters. Exactly, Alexander. Exactly. Yeah, AZS, just remember that there's a 73 active seller, okay? We have not had any kind of correction to overnight inventory. And just to be a pain in the ass. Don't forget that poor low in the overnight. It has not been tested yet. I went to short 69, I missed it. Ah, damn it. See if we can get under VWAP and stay under VWAP. That would be lovely. God, what is this? This is like the Vatican bid here. Come on. There we go. Come on. Hit 66. I'm covering 65 and under. Happy to do so. Under 64. We're targeting 61. It's very choppy, Howard. It's very choppy. I really want, if you're shorting underneath 64, right? Chop these shorts in digestible chunks, right? Go pick them up at the lows. Make sure you get your buy orders in if you are short, okay? Because you don't want somebody else getting your fill. There you go. For a while there, that 68 was starting to feel like the Vatican bid. One of these days I'll tell you guys about the Vatican bid. It's a bid you do not want to short. Good excess here. Couldn't take out that E and L low. But remember I said, looking for that overnight low to get tested. If we get back above the previous day low, I'll explain it one day. It's a very real thing, Renee. Never short the Vatican bid. Seller at 63 again. See? That's good. That's good. Come on. Sell this thing down. I really want to go see what's cooking under 55. There we go. Get aggressive, my sellers. Come on. Come on. Down to 58. You know you want to. Come on now. Don't be like that. There's so much short covering. Yeah, it's filling it up here, Raj. This market just never liquidates. You get 1 day of liquidation, and then you're back to short squeeze again. It's unbelievable. Be careful now, folks. If we crack the 64s, it'll take a trip back up to VWAP. Short 64, covering 61 and 3/4. Oof. Okay. Let's slow it down on the trading. Yesterday's point of control was 64.47, Alexander. So we're in distribution because we're above yesterday's puck, right? In fact, we haven't been able to take out value area high of yesterday. No problem. Ah, underneath the close, we're trying to take out that 64.58. I think if we take that out, we have a good chance of checking on the overnight low. This is overnight inventory correcting in a very slow, aching fashion. So a lot of people will be wondering, why is the market trading this way? Well, it's because when you trap so many shorts, you create a lot of buyers. And support is created by unfilled buy orders. If you are doing a look below and fail of 60 and 3/4, you're looking for maybe 62, 63. There will be sellers, so just be forewarned. Now, if there are no sellers, that tells us something. There's 62. Ah, there's the seller. And folks, if you're wondering why I know there will be sellers here or buyers there or where they're going to stop selling, it's because I observe one market and I watch it and I focus only on one market. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't trade multiple markets, but I'm saying you really want to get good at trading one market before you branch out. So you get to know it really well. Not bad clean out. Looking for VWAP at 66 and 3/4. Another rotation. Oh, could not take out that overnight low. Good information. Frustrating for the shorts, but good information for us. Back to the open. Front running VWAP. That's nothing new. Normal business is kind of a bit suspended these days because, we got a new month. Remember, we do have a contract rollover coming. I thought they would take it out too. We still have time, Renee. There's still 15 minutes. If we get back underneath the close again, look how big these candles are, right? So we have a fairly aggressive seller at 66. Looking for the close of business yesterday at 60 and a half. Dropping in. We're dropping in. One tick away. They're front running the close. Let's see if we break through that now. There's a 60 half print. Let's go quarter. Let's go 60 flat. There we go. There's the responsive buying coming in off the 58 quarters. They're front running. Seller steps in at 60. See, Renee? Exactly, Ben. Time. Boom. Taking out that 58 stop. Now let's see if we can go tickle that overnight low, because I want to see what's lurking underneath here. See, I should have been shorting 65, 64 against VWAP. But I put the DOM away because I think I was over trading. So what's happening now, folks, is anyone who's short is coming in and covering before that overnight low. Because if we crack that overnight low, it's going to bring in a lot of buying. So this is front running. Previous day's close 60 and a half. So if we take out that overnight low, yesterday's point of control was 47. That would be a target. Okay? And then the low of M period, the last half hour of RTH, is down here at 32. So I'm not saying we're going to print down there, but if we get under 52, then you can look for lower, or definitely under 47. Let's see where they sell into it. Right? So you don't want to sell all at the same time because you got all this short buying, right? So you sell, stop. That's at 57. Lift the offer, they'll chase it. 58, 59, 60. And then you're going to come to a level where everybody's going to jump on the offer. Boom. Right? And you sell into it. Right? That's how you distribute size. Right? You just don't dump it all. You sell, you let it breathe. You let them come in and buy. And then you sell again. Then you let it breathe. Let them come in and buy. Right? And that's why you'll get this. Right? You let it breathe. Right? So it brings in more buying and you can distribute more. Everybody wants to get the best prices, right? Okay. Seeing bids. Offers lifting. That's commerce. You're doing the 60 look below and fail, right? Let's see if it backfills to underneath 62, right? Say you bought 61 and 3/4, 62, because this is a look below and fail, right? Put a sell order out at 64, see if you get taken. Right? If they don't take you at 64, hit them out at 3 3/4. Look, went there to the tick. Do not wait for an invitation to sell your inventory. Someone will steal your customer. That's why you need to have a sense of urgency when you're trading. Not to get into a trade, but to turn your trade into cash. Front run the seller. Right? So if I was long 61 and a half, I'd be out here. Right? I might hold a runner and put it underneath 64 and a half. Right? Now, what'll be surprising is if we take out the top of these two candles here. Hope this helps you guys, because this is about as practical as it gets. You'll notice I'm not talking about formations or patterns or indicators or types of candles or colors of candles. You're just looking at where the market transacts. Nice long, Flavius. Well done. Well done. So, folks, if you want to get some help navigating this market so you can actually make some money, come join us at the Trading Syndicate. Steve's always running some kind of a deal or a special, so it's not much at all. When you're in the room, please DM me. Say hello. Reach out for help. I am around. Okay? We'll help you pass those evaluations so you can start withdrawing money. You know, if you're having trouble with discipline, those kinds of things, we can help you with that. Right? If you're tired of all the double talk, come spend some time with us. This thing cleans up pretty good. So, the question is, how many people got short under 54 yesterday? Nice work, Flavius. Nice work. Well done. Really good. You know, and don't worry, the market will change and we will be able to hold longer, right? Right? These rotations are nice. Now, what I'm worried about for my short seller friends is if we take out the high of the day, right, could get a little ugly. There's no real reason to, right? See, we're creeping up to this chop zone that we had earlier, right? When a control moved up, they're buying it at higher levels. Be careful, folks. If we get above 77, 78, we'll be looking at 87. There's not much above us here, you know? There's really only 2 days of inventory above where we are. So we corrected inventory, but we didn't take out that overnight low. Hey, Fergie, how you doing? Stops at 76 and 79. They have been traded through. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, good, there's a seller at 72. I will have one tomorrow, Murad. Honestly, I haven't had much interest in the labs lately. You guys haven't really reached out or anything like that. I had a 101 yesterday. We'll do a price action lab tomorrow, so we'll round out the week for the coaching class. It'll be at 11. And guys, please bring some questions. Don't worry. We'll start getting back at everything next week. And what was I talking about when I was talking about overhang? Really, if you look at this market, there by levels, there's that 78. So we're here. This has been flushed out. We really have this and this above us. Right? We've got this day and we've got this day. We're right here. As soon as we crack out over 78, there's only 2 days of inventory to sell into. Right? And that's our all-time high up here. That's why I was all excited when we had that liquidation down to 63.70. I was like, oh, this is great. We could maybe go down here and fill some gaps. Nope. Hey, ASIC, here, I'm going to DM you and I'll show you how to do it. There we go. Well, folks, trade smart today, okay? If you're unsure of it and it's not doing what you normally do, right? If that normal business that you do and you're kind of unsure how to adapt to it, reach out, DM me. But don't open up your wallet if you're not sure, okay? On days like this, if things are not clear, you should instinctively protect your money, protect your accounts, okay? Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful, wonderful trading day. Reach out if you need me. I'm JJ. This is the tradingsyndicate.org. We'd love to have you here. And we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning as we round out this week. Thanks, brother. $6 million man. You have a great, great day. And remember, folks, don't take candy from strange market makers. Thank you so much. Be well.